we'll go ahead and get started. I'll put some quieter music on, just the regular stuff. That way we can hear each other talking. So we've got a couple of people showing up late tonight. But when we ended last week, you guys had escaped the temple and had you were making your way back to town. And so what we were going to do is start there. So those of you that needed to take care of some training, resupply, whatever it is you need to do, identify magic items, that sort of thing. I've shared the map. I'll do it again. And it's just there for you to see it. You don't necessarily need to, if you want to say, yeah, I'll go to the smith. I mean, I'm not going to make you move your token to there, but if you just want to see it just so you can know what it looks like, that's what it looks like. And looks like Mike is connected too.
Hey guys.
Hello.
So while we're waiting for some of the other guys to get online tonight, those of you that are here, when you guys get to town, people are kind of surprised. It's you're not sure why. After getting to the inn, though, you find out that as far as they're concerned, you guys have been gone for several months, not just a couple of weeks. From that, you can gather that your time in the nodes kind of passed differently than the time in this particular plane of existence. Before you guys get to town, though, Linnea takes a couple of things from her companion, Bias, the dead Bias, that he had been carrying, and she sends him off into the woods, and he kind of trudges off, and that's the last you see of him. And she does that before you guys get to town. But once you get back to town, you guys realize that as far as the rest of the world is concerned, you've been gone for about 4 months. They were kind of surprised to see you come back. They thought you guys had all been killed. But in the meantime, I got him somewhere here. Now, Booker Chesterton is the guy that you guys have been working with. He's been your liaison with the rulership in Valuna. But he's glad to see you back, and I guess once some of the other guys get here, we can kind of walk through a little bit of that. But while you're here, the people that they brought from, it looks like Brian's having connection problems because he's disconnected now. But the trainers that they brought from Verbabunk are here still for you guys to make use of. It also, one of the things you do learn is that they have sent, since you guys hadn't returned, they had sent some spies into the temple to try to figure out what has went on. But as far as you know, there's been no reports back from those guys yet. And you know, one of them was one of Jeroen's friends, a fellow druid that was sent in to spy on them. But with that, so those of you that did level that are here, taking it. Gentlemen, did you get enough experience to level? Yeah, it looks like you did.
I think my fighter side did, yeah.
Any better?
Yeah. Right now it is. Looking at your character sheet, Jala, it looks like you have enough for both. No. Yeah, you're fighter, you're right. You're right. It's just your fighter. And I don't know if... I think the wizard guy made enough. Nope, he's about 20k shy of going up. But yeah, Jala, so you remember how to level up?
No.
So you need to bring up the
It's
class on the right. You bring the classes up on the right, find fighter and drag it, drop it on your character sheet, and it'll bring your fighter up to 6. Before you do that though, let me go ahead and export everybody in case somebody messes something up. We'll have a backup.
Okay. Let me know when.
I tend to do this just to make sure. Friggin' six as well. Bubbles Garten, Brian.
Hold on 1 second.
6.
He's sick. Go sick.
Yeah.
Please tell me you can hear me.
Somewhat. It's still a little choppy, but not as bad.
I don't know what.
Hello.
Howdy.
Who are we helloing? I'm sorry, I can't see.
It's Jason.
Oh, gotcha. Gangsta. What level's Paraphil?
I think he's 6'5". Let me see. He's 5 or 6, maybe.
Like Mr. Lips, you might want to update. I don't know how it's going to work if you don't. When you bring up the client, there should be a red button in the bottom left that says check for updates or run update or whatever. Alright, I've got everybody backed up. So, Jala, go ahead and drag and drop it when you're ready.
What am I dragging? The little shield looking thing?
Yeah, the little black dot to the left of the fighter. Just drop it in the middle of your character sheet. And if you'd rather, I can do it for you to make sure it's there.
I got it.
Got it. There you go.
I got 43 hit points now.
Yeah, if you got anything else, the chat box should tell you if it did anything else. More than likely, it changed your THAC0 and maybe some saves, but... And Garden. Where's Garden?
Yeah, he's like 5,000 over what he.
Evelyn. So you can go ahead and do him. He's backed up.
All right. Oh, I did Fantasy Grounds. Just went to loading screen.
Yeah, it crashed for me.
Yeah, you're running a older version. Whenever you connected, not you, Jason. Whenever you connected us, that's who I was talking to. I'm sorry if I wasn't clear, but yeah, you're running an older version of the client. If you'll update your client, you should be good.
It crashed for me as well, Mike, and I had updated.
Well, I don't know about you.
So, watch it.
You're going back to stuttering there. Either that or you're actually stuttering.
I'm probably stuttering myself.
It seems to still be running for me.
I can't even get it to reopen now.
Oh, wow, I got one additional hit. Your roller is broken.
Not them, Dave. They are doing a lot of leveling up and probably resupplying. Majority of the night, I suspect, will be in town with them doing that. We're having a lot of connectivity issues from a couple of guys. We'll also have a couple of guys going to be late. So. Maybe a lot of maintenance tonight. Alright. So Jason, you still having issues?
Yeah, it won't even open or do anything now.
Go ahead, look in your task manager and see if you've got a hung process. You know how to do that?
Yeah, I think so. Oh, wait, it popped up.
So when it opens, click the check for updates button.
So looking at your character sheet, Jala, under skills, it looks like you have 5 weapon proficiencies unassigned and 1 non-weapon, just FYI. You may have picked up a new non-weapon when you leveled up. I wasn't watching.
It says I got a weapon. My Thaco changed, and I got a non-weapon and 4 hit points.
There you go. So you did get 2 a non-weapon and a weapon proficiency. So if you want to pick those while we're waiting on everybody, go ahead and do that. Like Frankie's connected up.
I'm in.
You are in, and we are back in town. I don't know if I have you. Let me see. We've been running T1 through 4 for almost 2 years, maybe 2 years, maybe over 2 years. I don't know. But yeah, running the whole thing. It is set in Greyhawk, but generally we don't do. Our group is more of dungeon crawlers, so we do some outside of the dungeon. You know, Hamlet. They've been to Verbabank and some various places, but. Most of it is them interacting with, you know, things at the dungeon, around the dungeon, that sort of stuff. Did Moon level up? I don't remember.
I did. Yeah.
You did. You know how to do it. You can do that on your own. And I backed you up, exported it, so go for it. If you mess something up, we can fix it.
Awesome.
And if you get new skills, go ahead and feel free to pick it and add those and update them. Um, so, is there any additional stuff that you guys needed to have identified that wasn't?
Shit, I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea. Is
There
that
was
in
at
the
least
party inventory then? Is that where you would look?
That's not where I would look. Anything that's in the party inventory as far as partial items are gone because anything it's left there, I'm assuming you guys just do it on the floor. In some cases, when you guys are going through a room, I'll throw them in there and say you guys need to put those somewhere. And so whenever I first start the thing up, unless there wasn't a specific conversation had in the last one, whenever I bring it up, I clear that out. So and I think there was some leather crap, some junk that you guys had thrown in there the last time we had played.
Yeah, there was junk in there.
So that was cleared out. I don't recall if anybody else had anything they needed. At least for those of you guys that are here.
okay. I've got Fantasy Grounds loaded. I think I'm supposed to level.
One second. I'll take a look. Let's see. Where is Morgan? Yes, you definitely have enough to level up. You remember how to do that?
No.
So on the right side, the buttons, one of them is classes. If you click that, and you need to be very careful when you do this. And in fact, what I would suggest is on the bottom, do a search for death to make sure you drag and drop the only one that's there, so you don't get the wrong one. Because if you drag and drop something else that's not the same, it'll add another class, so you'll be split class, dual class, or something like that. And I can't reverse that without just deleting your character and doing it. So it's a lot easier if you make sure you get the right one. And since there's only one death cleric, you should be okay.
One thing you can do if you click on the class here where it shows your experience, there's the link to your classes on the right hand side, and that little pop up. That will always be the right.
Good deal. Yeah, you can do that. So yeah, just click the little circle, and then at the top of that window that comes up to the left of Cleric Death, you can just drag and drop that into your character sheet or in the class level window, and it should make you a 7th level cleric. Yeah, there you go. So in your chat box, it should tell you what it gave you. I want to double check, make sure your spells are right, because she's with your spells at one point. So you just picked up 4th level spells. Let's see, does your wisdom give you any additional? Yes, it does give you an additional 4th, so I'll fix that so you have 2 4s. From now on, you'll be okay. I think that's why I remembered I needed to look at that, but from now on, you should be good on that. So you need to pray / memorize 2 4th level spells. The spells are on the, you click the button on the right and get the spells list up, and you can filter those however you want. You just need to make sure that there are spells that you can actually get being your particular type of cleric. Did you apply these skills to Garden that he got? Many? is still having connectivity issues. Evening, Low. Now we're doing a town kind of thing tonight where everybody's training up. They've managed to get out of the temple, and we're trying to get all their levels and skills and everything sorted out for them tonight. We're also having a lot of connectivity issues with various people, and got a couple people late. I don't know. I think tonight's going to be a maintenance night where we do a lot of this. Minnie, can you make it back? Sure, I'm connected.
What non-weapon skills can I pick? Like anything?
You're human. No, you're not human.
Half
You
elf,
are a fighter cleric, right?
half elf fighter cleric. Yep.
Yeah. So you can take priest things, you can take warrior things, and you can take general things. You want to pick something that's outside of that. Like if you want to take something out of rogue, it costs double, and since you only have one, I think you only have 1 point for non-weapons. You wouldn't be able to buy those because they cost double. But the things that I'm talking about are in the skills thing on the right. You can sort them by the group.
I got it.
Okay. While we're here, I'm gonna go ahead and level up Bjarni. I know he's not here. I don't know if we'll use him anymore, but I want to get his level sorted while I'm thinking about it. He leveled up, definitely. He almost leveled up twice. Yeah, Smitty disconnected again. Wow. Barney gained 5 hit points. That's pretty good. Also has that spell thing. Okay.
Hey, Mike.
Uh-huh.
You allowing weapon masteries?
For single class fighters.
Oh, okay.
Not for multi-class.
Right. And there's no minimum level requirement?
Well, there is. And that's mostly your proficiencies. Are you... Oh, you're talking about with... yeah, for some reason I had in my head you were running multi-class, but you're not. You are... class.
I thought I remember reading somewhere mastery was at least like level 7 or higher, but I can't remember. I can't say
I mean, weapon mastery is inclusive. It means a style of specialization. I mean, there is a thing called weapon mastery that you get at one point, But what I'm talking about is, one second. You need to specialize. Have you ever specialized?
I have. I specialize in the battle axe.
All right, so you're done there. Then at any time after he reaches 5th, you're already 5, right?
Yeah, I just hit 6.
So at 5th, you could spend another proficiency slot to become a weapon master.
All right, then that's what I'm gonna do.
Then at, let's see, I could become a master at 5th. Couldn't go until 6th. Actually, the way they say this, becomes a master at 5th, can't acquire a second slot of mastery until 6th, is 3rd until 9th. So at 6, you can get a second level of mastery. There's multiple levels. There's spending a second slot, you become a high master.
And I seem to recall, like, High Master and Grandmaster, you needed to be trained in those.
So mastery is basically double specialization. You get +3/+3, the same thing that was in our Arcana. So at 5th, you can get +3/+3. And then if you take the next step, by spending a second, you become High Master by... Where is... High Masters, High Masters increase the speed factor of their chosen by, so it's I think it's -4 to your initiative, maybe. I think that's what I did for. I wish Finial was here because we've already went through this with him, and I can't remember if it's -3 or -4. But it basically improves the speed of for your weapon.
Right.
Actually, I can look at him. His is... So he would have, yeah. 9, 6, 4 with 2. But he should have a 2 for his two-handed sword. I don't know why he's got 1. But I'll ask him before I muck with that. Basically, it improves your speed factor with that particular thing. I'm pretty sure it was -4. Minimum of 1. So if it takes it below 0, you can only have 1. And then at 9th, yeah, I haven't decided whether I'm gonna go with Grand Mastery because it's already pretty stupid with how much damage it comes out. It would really kind of change the field by doing that, because you already are getting an additional. Once you hit 7th level, you already get a you basically get 2 attacks around. What level is your guy?
He's 6.
So next level you'd get 2 attacks around instead of 3 every 2. And then at 9th you would get an additional attack on top of that because of the whatever the mastery is. So I haven't decided. I told Charles when he got to that point we'll worry about it. Right now I'm leaning towards probably not, because I just, like I said, I think that would just dramatically change things for everybody. It would make it really hard for me to challenge you guys, and not just one-shot everybody else. But so what you can do is in your efficiencies add a, yeah, you got it right there, mastery. Should give you, yep, you got it. And battle axe is one-handed, right?
It is, yeah.
Did you delete the specialization?
I just changed the name of it.
Because I'm noticing a bug.
It doesn't like it. I do notice that.
No, you're good.
But...
You're good.
Okay.
It's just I noticed a bug. This is one reason I didn't want to continue using the, like, if you go into on the combat tab, yeah, I don't like. I wanted to remove this way of adding the proficiency to the weapon, but somebody in the forum said, "Oh, I like that," so I left both methods to where you can do it from the skills thing in here. But this is a problem. I can't fix that. I mean, you have to manually. You're gonna have to delete that, or I will. But yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I didn't. I was looking at it and I was like, man, that looks a little high. I kept going back and forth looking at it and I was like, no, I put +3. And then I kept coming over here. It didn't even occur to me because I don't even use this anymore. I only use the skills tab.
Yeah, and that's what I want everybody to do, because that's where you're playing with your skills. You're doing it there.
Right.
So it makes sense to have it there.
Yeah, it's nice because you see all the weapons. You just put the bubbles. You just check them where you need.
Yep.
Yeah,
I definitely
you don't need to
prefer
sell
it.
me on it. I'm down with it.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was, and maybe I'll just silently disable it and see if anybody complains. But we'll leave
I'm
it there
sure
for
that
now.
one individual will remind you who they were.
Brian, did you ever get connected back up and get sorted? He is not. He is not here. Yeah, this has been all night. Borgin, did you get situated? Did you get your spells selected for 4th level sorted?
Yes, I did.
I think that's all the people that we're going to level up tonight. Of those that were here, the rest of them aren't. So if you guys need to pick up supplies, particularly if you're out of food, water, that kind of stuff, you can assume the prices of it are going to be what it costs from the player's handbook, or the listed cost in the items list, and you guys can add to your stores. The other thing that I wanted to cover is that I was kind of waiting for the other guys to get here, but so Linnea, while you guys are spending, it takes you, a week, 2 weeks, couple weeks to train, and during that period, Linnea has been doing some investigations of her own. Those of you that are familiar with magic, she is, spending time scrying and researching various things. She worked with Jareth at one point to try to figure out, where the weapon came from that he has. One of the things that that she found was that the thing that brings the rings together is someone. A single person can control them all for the full amount, all 4 of them at once. Now, the way you guys used it, you were able to use it just to get through the portals when one person put on all 4 rings. When you have all 4 rings on, you guys, you can't use any of them other than that. It won't let you do, like use the air thing that lets you fly, and then the other one lets you be invisible, and the other one makes you resistant to fire. It doesn't work like that with you guys. But there is someone or an object that looked like someone. It was a hand that she saw that had all 4 rings on, and whatever it was, whatever that is, it also had the tattoo of the eye in the center of it. She said she thinks that what you guys need to do, if you truly want to stop the temple, is find that person or that object. It could be it could be some kind of sculpted thing. She doesn't know. But if you put the rings on there, she thinks that will clue you guys into the way of how to close all the nodes, which would, basically make the temple powerless. Right now, they draw their power from the nodes, is where all that stuff's coming from. And in fact, she determined that the rings that each one of the princes had, was used so that particular avatar there could draw even more power from it and send it to the temple. Why they were doing it, you're not sure. She doesn't know. But that's kind of what their purpose was. So if you have any questions for her, feel free to ask. You may be able to get some other information from her.
Are we more or less free to just go around town and do things?
Yeah, yes, you absolutely are.
Because I'd be broke, and I want to go try to sell some of these trophies that I harvest.
Alrighty. So which ones did you want to try to sell? And there
The
are
bear
various
horn.
places in. Sorry, go ahead.
Sure, the bear horn, the Ed in the ears, and I don't know what creature the giant teeth came from. It was like this big lizard creature that had a lot of horns and teeth.
The Ramirez thingy,
Oh, that's what it was? Okay, yeah. So
or a Bahir, one of the two. I can't remember.
I think it was the Remores.
And you said you had a bear horn?
Beher.
A Bahir. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, Bahir and a Ramirez. Gotcha. All right.
Yeah, so I got 2 of the Remores teeth.
You got one of the giant lizard's teeth. I think that's where you got the teeth from.
Oh, that's what that is. So
Yeah,
I don't know what that. I'll just put
the rock lizard's teeth.
All right, yeah. So I'm gonna try to sell those items if possible.
So the Bahir and the Ramirez, the trainer, and I don't have his name in my handy right here. For now, we'll just say it's Kijum is the one that's going to be interacting with you on this. He was a previous wizard NPC that was working with the party, but he is not their trainer. But he is willing to purchase the Bahir and the Ramirez parts for alchemy, or some sort of mystical use that you don't know, but he is interested in buying those things from you, and the Booker would definitely direct you to him to speak to him on that, those particular things.
All right, I will head over to that guy and bring on my my barter face.
Bring your barter face.
Let's go.
All right, let me see 1 second. Can't ever find this when I want it. I can't ever remember what it's called because it's not a reaction card. It's something else. What is it called? There it is. What is your charisma, by the way? Or do you have any adjustments?
None. Solid 10.
Alright. So, you go and Parafel introduced you to him. That's the fellow that he's been training, or working with, anyways, at least. And when you arrive, Kijum says that him and his master are definitely interested in purchasing the items. He says though they look like they're in very poor shape. They weren't preserved very well. It also looks like they were butchered to pull them out. So their quality is not that great. But they'll offer you 15 gold for the lot.
I can assure you, these are the finest quality that I have on.
I'm sure that's true.
How about 20 gold?
He says, I'm doing you a favor giving you 15 for them.
You drive a hard bargain. And I'll just leave with my teeth intact. I won't sell them.
Okay. Yeah, he didn't seem very interested in, bartering with you.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't. He didn't. Something about you or something. You're not sure. He just didn't really. It didn't seem that interested. He wanted the things, but he wasn't willing to sit there and argue with you about price.
What was he, a human?
Yeah, he's human.
Yeah, that explains it.
Could have been that awesome charisma too.
Nah, he's human. They're garbage. They don't understand anything.
All right.
All right, I'll just go meet up with the party wherever they are. I'm sure there's a tavern around or something.
Yes, the Inn of the Welcome Wenches. That's where you guys have pretty much been spending all your time when you guys are in town. It's if you look on the map, it's right where I piled all you guys tokens. You guys are right next to it.
All right, I'll go welcome wench it up. That sounds like a good place to be.
You at the wrong spot. This is where it is. There we go. Big building kind of in the center part of town. I missed it by 20 square. Alright. So, like I said, Linnea has explained to you guys what she thinks you might want to do. She doesn't really have an interaction with Booker. Her conversations are strictly with you. She's not really interested in apparently dealing with the clergy, at least him, and the people that work with them. She didn't explain why, but she would rather deal with you guys than them. So she passes on the information that she has to you, and if you guys pass it on to them, it's up to you. But that's what she's doing.
Well, were we initially hired by somebody?
Well, it depends on what you want to call hired. Not really. No, I mean the party itself it initially began exploring the moat house and kind of made the way to the temple. At one point, somebody brought something back that triggered some concern by the clergy in Verbabach, who notified the there's Jolene, which is one of the rulers in Valuna. She was to be married to a knight like a decade ago, but he disappeared during the first battle with the temple. And 1 second, I don't have to give you names because for some reason it slipped my mind. It's flipping name. Sure. Well, right now you guys don't remember, but you know there was this famous knight. You're not sure who, some paladin maybe, but he was to be married to her, and he was lost during the battle itself. And when you guys brought something back, it was his. And since then, you guys have been working with the church and the rulership of Valuna to try to find out what happened to him, if he's still alive. The priests and the wizards for Valuna have been doing their best to try to locate the owner of those items, but they've been blocked. They can get a sense that something is in the temple, but they don't know what. But you guys have ran across a couple of people that have spoke of a prisoner, but beyond that, you're not sure if it's him or not.
Gotcha. Okay. Given that information, I will. And there's a local priest or somebody that we've been dealing with. Is that?
That's Booker. His name is Booker Chesterton.
Booker. His name's Booker.
Yeah, Booker Chesterton. Now, love my random name generator, man.
I'll go talk to Booker and tell Booker what Linnea has told us, and see if he can make any sense of it.
Is Balthazar human?
Yes, he is. I was waiting for Mike to answer, but yeah, he's human.
Oh,
he looks human
is he
anyways.
not here right now?
Pardon?
Is he not here right now?
I don't know. He doesn't need a level, so he's.
I heard something.
I'll shut up and let him speak.
Yeah, that was me. I'm sorry. What did you want from me?
Hey, I was wondering if you could come talk to one of your kind for me. I'm having a little bit of an issue. If you're not too busy.
Talk to who?
One of your kind? The humans?
Okay.
All right. I'm going to escort Balthazar back to this alchemist that didn't want to buy my stuff, or at least for a fair price.
Okay. And you want to have Balthazar try to sell it to him?
Yes, if you wouldn't mind, Balthazar.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Can you guys give me 1 second? I'm trying to find something because this is really bothering me.
Sure.
I don't know why I can't. Oh, there it is. Ah, there it is. Okay. So the guy's name that I couldn't remember is Thrommel. I don't know why that slipped out of my head, but that's the guy that you're trying to find for Jolene. All right.
What was it? I didn't catch the name.
Thrommel. Thrommel. That's the guy you're trying to look for. And you guys are going back. Are you going with him, or are you just going to send him on his own?
Oh, no, I'm going.
Okay.
So, I want to go to Thrommel and introduce my friend Balthazar.
No. Okay.
Here.
Hold up. Thrommel's not the
All right.
guy that's the wizard, the mage. That's Kijum.
Oh, I got you.
Thrommel is the guy that you guys were trying to find in the temple. So. all right,
Oh,
go
I
ahead.
see.
Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Fix my notes here. No, it's okay. So yeah, I'm escorting Balthazar here, and I want to introduce him to this alchemist, and say, "Look, I have with me one of your kind. So it's obvious that we get along. So you and I should get along. And he has some things he would like to say to you." And then I'll nudge Balthazar, hopefully.
So the he seems to be a little less irritated by your presence, and he just kind of nods his head and looks over to Balthazar, and he says, "What? Why?" I can't, my brain is not working right now. But he asked Balthazar, so why does he need you to babysit him?
We have some alchemical pieces that we'd like to sell.
I've already offered your friend 15 gold for the lot.
Well, that sounds a little low to me. These are some pretty dangerous creatures.
Do you have any actually, let me look at your character sheet real quick. I'll do this. Yeah. He says, "Yeah, you're right. They are pretty dangerous. So what were you thinking on a price here?"
Well, how about I sell you these giant rock lizard teeth for 20 gold. You buy those, I'll throw the rest in for free. And I'll sit back and smile at him.
He basically, whenever he's having the conversation, he just kind of his eyes look at you, but his head is still facing Balthazar. And he says, he's talking to Balthazar. He says, "Is that what you'd like to do?"
Yeah, that's what I'd like to do.
He says, "All right. Let me see what you got."
Alright, so I got the two Edom ears, the horn, and the teeth. And I'll just download all that stuff onto his counter or whatever he's.
Download it onto the counter. He looks it over, and actually, he picks up one of the teeth from the rock lizard. And he said, "Oh, actually, this one's pretty good shape. Tell you what, we'll this one itself is probably worth what I was offering. We'll go ahead and give you 50 gold. You give me the rest of what you have, and
No. I'm a man of my word. 20 gold for the lot or no deal."
Alrighty.
Alright.
He says, "Okay."
I'll just grin. I'll take the 20 gold when he offers.
Okay. He says, "If you need some," he says, when you decide you need some tutorials on language and math, feel free to come back. We have some students that would happily take your gold to teach you."
I will walk out without saying another word, ready to go get a drink.
Okay. So keep in mind, you guys do have and I'm using quotes on this, a party characters, or not party character, party funds. Garton typically carries it, and since Smitty is not here, he's not going to speak up for it. But he typically carries funds for you guys to pick up things. I think he's the one that has the bag of holding. Guess he doesn't. But
Before I get too out of control here, I'll make sure I give Balthazar 10 gold, because without him, this wouldn't have been possible.
okay, I'll put it on. I'll put it in his inventory.
There we go. All in a day's work. Now I need a drink.
So we're set. All right. So, do you guys have any things that you want to research, or anything you want to spend time at the temple and do anything there? You guys have full reign of the village for the time being. I suspect that the rest of the guys are going to want to train too. I really don't want to do it for them without them being here. So. And like I said, it takes you 2 to 3 weeks to train anyway. So, you guys will have downtime during the evenings, whenever you're done with that day's training. So you guys are going to spend, 2 to 3 weeks in town. So if there's anything you'd like to do, you have the opportunity to do that.
Borgen's gonna spend most of his time praying to the Lord of Death.
That was the perfect monotone voice for that.
Speaking of, you haven't really, talked about who it is, your Lord of Death. So I was sort of thinking if you would like to have a one that I'm kind of familiar with. It's Anubis. It's Egyptian, so you may not, want to use that, but it's something that I've also got the Deities and Demigods book. If you'd like to kind of read over that kind of, and I think it's in my PDF thing that I shared with you guys. But I like it just because I have a little bit of understanding of that particular thing, and like if you think of whenever I was trying to describe how you see people when they're taken off to the afterlife, one of the things that I was saying in one of the Mummy movies, whenever the chariot came in to pick up the guy, and it left him because he did something wrong. But that's how the movie went. But that's kind of where I got that. I like that kind of Egyptian God of Death. In this case, God of Death is not necessarily evil. He just sends you on to your afterlife reward.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
So you'll kind of have maybe that sort of, you'll have the thing on your chin. I don't know. You're dwarf, so yeah, you could have the big thing that they have on their chin, and maybe the same kind of. And you are limited to cloth, so you could have the same type of robes and stuff. Just as far as an RP aspect, you can do it like.
Yeah, that seems cool.
So speaking of that, there was and I do remember there was some things that you guys had picked up. Some things that you guys picked up that weren't identified because it was a rock. Some things that you guys got out of the. Oh, who picked that stuff up?
I think Jalaman did because he had the Ring of Earth.
Yeah, but there was I think it was him. I think it was Paraphil. Check. But you guys picked up several things right before you left. You remember the room that had the pit to hell, that sort of thing? Behind that wall, there were some things you guys had picked up. I don't remember who picked those items up, and I gotta find it. Hold on. Because one of them, it was a rod that had the head of a jackal. And the symbol of Anubis is a jackal. So. Figure out who picked that stuff up.
I don't think I have it. I have the Ring of Earth for sure, and I got some Keegum's ointment.
Yeah, I don't. You didn't get that ointment from there, though. That was from somebody or somewhere else.
Somebody gave it to me.
So either it's, well, maybe it's on Jareth. Who was the guy that did the pass wall and picked up all the stuff? Wasn't that you? I thought that was Jaw.
I mean, I don't see it in my inventory.
Yeah, I just remember somebody picking up and taking it out of the deal because it was in there. I put it in there, and now it's on somebody. I just don't know who has it. It must be somebody that's not in the party. So let me put everybody that was there back in. Rock, Jeff, Frankie, do you remember who picked that stuff up?
I'm afraid I don't. I'm still trying to get used to everybody's voices.
I'll just open up the map.
I don't think it's anything I have.
Yeah, I don't. I think it was. I'm pretty sure it wasn't you. It was. Somebody I know definitely picked this stuff up. What was it under? What's the name? Sorry, this is taking so long. Oh him.
Yeah, I don't see it anywhere on the party inventory.
And I threw them in there just to make sure. I wish Brian was here, because he's the one that had the. Somebody had a bag of holding. And I thought it was Garten, but I don't see it on his character sheet either. Belt, sack, backpack. And it doesn't look like there's a bag of holding in the.
I swear I saw 2 in there earlier.
We did lose one.
Yes,
because-
you did. Yeah.
Okay, so that's counted.
Yeah. Wherever the other one is, it's not there anymore. I don't know who has it. That's where it is. But, so for now, I'm just gonna throw this back in here. And whenever the other one shows up, we need to get rid of it. There was a round sort of piece of metal, looked like a hockey puck, by our standards. There was also a box that nobody opened. There was a gold ring and a charred black wand and a scroll. And you guys picked all that stuff up, and I don't know who has it, but
I do remember picking that stuff up, or saying I picked that stuff up, but I don't have it in my inventory. Because I cast Pass Wall to get at it.
yeah. I don't remember if you picked it up. I don't think you did. I thought it was somebody else that picked it up, because I remember putting it all in there and seeing them disappear as I put them in there. I don't know where they're at.
We threw it all in a bag of holding, is what we did.
Yeah, the thing is I can't find the bag of holding in the party sheet now. Even with, yeah, sticky fingers, John. Let's see, Worgen, Garten, Grimlock, Jalwin, Alicus. I did not put Jareth. I did put Jareth in there. Maybe it was Jareth. Jareth doesn't have a bag of holding. Grimlock hasn't either.
Who was here earlier that isn't here now?
Smitty, Garton / Paraphel. Paraphel is the one that lost the bag. And I could have swore that Garton had one.
Is it on Garten then?
I'll check. Let me look again. I don't see a bag of holding on his character. And I don't see the rod or any of the other things, so. So, anyways, you guys have some time to figure out certain things, but the rod itself definitely has. You get the sense that it was used by either someone, or not by someone, but it definitely looks like something that a priest of the god of death would have used at some point, of Anubis, because the head of the rod is that of a jackal.
Ooh.
And I'm gonna go ahead and throw all this stuff back in the party sheet, and if you guys want to look at it or do anything with it, we can sort that out. There's a box as well, but I haven't put the box in there. Somebody wants to mess with the box, you certainly can, but for now, that's what you see.
We should have a thief look at the box, because I'm not a thief. What's the normal process to identify a magic item?
Well, you'd get you'd talk to Kijim, and see if he would do it for you. Typically, he charges 300 gold to you guys. Normally, it's like double that. You could also have Paraphel or Balthazar if they have the identify spell to it as well.
Yeah, I've got it, but I don't have it memorized.
Well, you guys have got 3 weeks, so you don't really necessarily need to say have it on your character. You can say one day I memorize identify, and then we'll go through the rolls at that point. It also takes a pearl, which is I think 100 gold, so you would need to supply the funds to use to go buy a pearl or provide a pearl.
I can throw in some gold for buying pearl.
Yeah, I have some pearl money as well.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and change my money here and go buy a pearl.
Looks like we have 5 unidentified items, so we should buy 5 pearls, right?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, plus we'll need the money to
How
pay.
many gold is a platinum piece worth? 100?
No. I'm pretty sure it's 5. Let me check. It's been a while.
Platinum piece is worth 5 gold.
Something like that, yeah. 1 sec. There's a chart somewhere. There it is. Yeah, 5 gold and a plat. You know what? Maybe it's... Oh, I know who's got it. The one guy that I haven't looked at.
Who?
Yes. Yep, there it is.
Grimlock?
No. I looked at everybody but this guy.
Bjarni?
Yep, that was him. we'll delete some of this stuff because I'm putting it in the party sheet so we can work on it. He actually already has one of these. Alright, I think I've cleared out things he had, but yeah, Barney's the one that had the bag of holding. That's why it never showed up, because I didn't put him in the party sheet. Or the party group. Alright, so, what's the plan, gentlemen?
Let's get those items identified, which will take, multiple days to do that. I can't figure out how to change the number of gold pieces today.
Just click on the box and type in the number. That work for you?
Yeah, I got it.
Gotcha. All right. So, who is doing the identification? Are you paying somebody, or are you guys going to do it yourself? If you do it yourself, we do the rolls. It also means that you can only do one identify spell a day because it reduces your constitution by 8, and if you try to do anything else, it will more than likely, if I'm not mistaken, knock you out if I know your stats. Yeah, you would be out completely. Wouldn't be able to finish the spell. You're gonna do an identify. And you are level 7. So, all right. So you guys have a box and several other items. What are you guys wanting to identify?
Let's start with that rod.
The rod. Okay, with the jackal head.
Yeah, check that
All right.
out.
All right. So I need Balthazar. Give me a percentile roll in the tower, please.
That work?
Yes, it did. So the rod is a rod of smiting. There's 41 charges on it. And I've identified it and put it, it's in the party sheet. So if you want to pick that up, you can. If you have any questions on it, you can ask me, I guess, after we get through doing the rest of them. Alright, so you have a gold ring with a white gem in it. You have a scroll that's rolled up. You have a scorched charcoal sort of looking wand. And the steel round disc.
How much is an electroboard for gold?
I think it's 2. I don't know off the top of my head though. It's in the player's handbook though if you want to look it up. What was that? What did you guys want to look at?
I say let's look at that wand. Maybe Balthazar can use the wand.
Alrighty, give me a percentile roll for that, Balthazar. Same thing you did last time.
And I've spent 300 gold pieces on pearls.
Okay.
Oh, I can spend 200.
Oh, Balthazar does not know what that wand is. He was unable to figure it out. So you're talking a total of 5 identifies, yes?
Yep.
Okay. So you've done 2, you got 3 left.
Well, I've removed 200 gold pieces from my sheet and all my platinum, so
Oh.
So that's 7 identifies.
Yeah,
If-
we've overpaid.
That's
Can
okay. You guys
he-
can put pearls on your inventory when we get done.
Yeah,
once you
that's
figure
right.
out.
We can use them later.
That's a good idea. Can he try and identify something that he wasn't able to identify before?
He can, yeah. He can spend another day and try, and another pearl, and see if he can identify it.
so I rolled again.
Again, you are unable to figure out what the thing is.
Dang it. Clerics don't get identified, do they?
They do not.
Whenever you're ready, I'm ready to go again.
Yeah, as long as somebody's keeping track. I've bought 3, Jason bought 2, and then you bought however many you. I say spend
Yes.
them all.
You guys had 7. You had 7 total. So so far, you've done 3 identifies. 1's worked that you know of. You can do it again. You're absolutely welcome to keep trying to identify it. It just
I
it
say
takes a pearl
spend
in a
them
day.
all.
All right, on the third time's the charm. It is a wand of fire.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
It's a
That's
wand
what's
of
done.
identify.
No, it's a wand of
That
fire.
would work too.
And this sucker has 72 charges. Wow.
Damn.
Oh yeah, no. See,
Mike's gonna regret giving that out.
Why would I?
room clearing fireballs there.
Yeah.
I think you guys are gonna probably not pay attention and blow yourselves up, but that's
Probably it.
More than
I
likely,
guess.
yeah.
That's Baptist underwear.
Yeah. All right. So if Balthazar is going to use it, you can drag and drop it in your character sheet or your inventory, or you guys can disperse it later. It's up to you. But it's identified in the party sheet. You guys have a ring, the iron disc, the box with who knows what inside of it too.
Nobody minds.
Plus the
I'm
scroll.
gonna take the wand.
What was that?
Nobody minds. I'm gonna take the wand.
I say take it.
All yours.
Sounds like you get it. It should have added the powers to your character sheet whenever you do that.
So the rod of smiting, it can just be used as a weapon without using any charges. That's the impression
Yes.
I'm getting. Okay.
Yes. The basic use is, I think it's +3 to hit, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
But you can use charges to make it do more damage, and it has particular special effects against golems.
Yeah. What are creatures of the outer planes?
Demons, devils, that sort of thing.
Angels,
Oh,
planet,
okay.
planet.
Any score of 20 or better draws off 1 charge and causes triple damage.
Ouch.
It gives me a better weapon for sure.
Can you recharge it?
No, it cannot be recharged. But it's got 41 charges, so that's a lot of 20s or higher.
Yeah, and it's something that I I don't know if it says it in the text, but the way I do things, for those, if you hit, I will let you burn a charge.
Oh,
So
okay.
you won't like say swing and miss and burn a charge and waste it. That's the way I do it. It may not be how everybody does it, but Brian Parafel has a sword that lets him do shocking grasp when it with it. So if he hits and he wants to do a little more damage, he can blast it with some shocking grasp as well.
Okay, that's cool. Even just as a regular magical weapon, it's still better than anything I had. So
Yeah.
it's nice.
+3 would probably let you hit anything you need to.
That wand of fire seems to have a charge marked off already for some reason.
You can take it off. It may have just been you clicked it or I clicked it, moving it around. Alright, so you guys have a ring, the ironed, the steel sort of hockey puck thing, and scroll and the box. What do you guys want to do?
How many pearls we got left?
You've burned 4 of 7.
You want to keep going, Balthazar? Let's maybe do that ring.
Alright, I'm ready. Here you go.
Wow, this bard is terrible, isn't he? Whew. Alright, so the ring. Those of you guys that aren't listening to music, you wouldn't hear it, but the bard was a little off tune. It is a ring of feather falling. And I've identified it and put it in the party sheet.
I've already got one. The Ring of Earth does that.
Something you guys need to keep in mind, you can't have more than 1 ring on a hand, so you can only have 2 rings total. So if you have, 2 rings on one hand, they won't function. Just so you know. So if somebody doesn't have one and you want, if somebody, you guys want to swap around, but anyways, that's what's there. Alright, that is 5 identifies. You have 2 more left.
Let's check out that disc.
Oof. You made the identify by 1 point. 69%. So he learns a command word, and based on his what he's learned from it, he thinks that he should go outside before he does it. And when he does, he sets it down on the ground. He says, what's a good word? I don't know. You guys will have to think of a good command word for it. But he says it, and the metal disc just starts. It goes click, 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 and it goes up, up, up. It's like a tube. It starts making a long tube and then it goes click, 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 and gets bigger and wider and just goes up. And then when it's done, it's this large sort of fortress. It makes a metal, a steel tower of 20 feet by 30 feet. It's 30 feet high, 20 feet. Actually, it's square. It's not round. I was wrong. So it's a 20 by 30 tower. Has arrow slits, battlements. It's all metal. And the metal walls extend 10 feet into the ground. It has a small door in the front. It's actually called Darren's Instant Fortress. Don't want to be in it whenever he or whoever calls it back into its compact form, because it will kill you.
That is crazy.
Darren's Instant Fortress.
We have an instant fortress and a folding boat.
No.
That's awesome.
Does it come with catapults or anything?
No. It has arrow slits, and it's got a word that I don't know if I can say it right. MACHIC Machicolated? Something like that. I don't know. I can't say that. I'll paste it. Maybe somebody better verbal skills than me. That's the type of battlements it has, whatever that is. Yeah, if any of you guys that are watching this have any idea what that is, I have no clue. I would look it up, but that's the type of battlements that are on top of it. And the walls are made of adamantite. Very strong. Unaffected by weapons and other catapults. So both of those are identified and in the party sheet. I bet you that was the first time that item appeared in an adventure. So apparently that style of battlement is so that they can chuck stones and pour boiling water or oil. Oh, no catapults. Alright, so you guys have the box left. You have done 6 identifies. Everything's identified but scroll and box.
Okay, matriculations, those are those things they used to pour oil out of.
Yes. Yep. So what was that identified for, Balthazar?
It's a scroll.
So as far as that goes, you don't need to identify it. You just need to look, attempt to transcribe it or decipher it, and that will take you a while. If you can give me a spellcraft check from your skills listing, and you can do that in the tower, please.
Hang on a second, my dog's having a fit.
Alright, no problem. I'll do it for you. Balthazar skills. Yes, I did. You made it. It is an arcane scroll, and if you want to click on it, if you click the little thing, you can see what's on it. Whether you want those or you want to disperse them between Paraphil and yourself. But that's what's on the scroll. If you want to scribe it, again, that's up to you guys in the party to decide what you want to do with it. But that's what's on it. For everybody else, it's Monster Summoning 1, Death Spell, Repulsion, Maze, and Symbol of Discord. Some of those may be above your spell level. And you still have 1 identifier left and the boxed stuff. And to be clear, the box isn't magic, by the way.
It isn't or is?
No. It is not. Thank you, Maffarters. Hopefully I said that right.
I think we should hold 2 of these identifies off because we're going to need to identify a couple things that we not find in the place. There was that bowl and knife in the one room.
Well, you've only got 1 left.
Okay.
So you're just gonna leave the box sitting on the table and not mess with it?
Well, I'm scared to touch it. Like it might be trapped or something.
Well, none of your thieves are here to do anything like that.
Oh wait, I think I have find traps memorized. I do.
Ah, you don't need a thief. You gonna cast it?
Did that work? I
You
heard
did.
a noise.
I did too. There is nothing trapping this. Oh, what is that? What is that? What is that? Somebody did something. I can't see it. Hold on a second. I gotta see what that was. My thing is not very date. Oh, Go Public is hosting. There we go. Yeah, it must have just flew past. Thank you, Gold. Sorry. What were we talking about? I'm sorry, I got totally distracted. Find traps. Didn't find any traps on the box. You're good. There we go.
Open the box.
You open the box and you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 vials of liquid.
Like potions.
That's what they look like.
I was gonna say, watch it be full of pearls.
So, of the potions that you see in there, one of them looks very familiar. It's pink. It has sort of a viscosity. It's kind of thick. And it looks like the potions that you guys have been using, that you drank a lot of. It looks like a healing potion. This has the same consistency and color. From
Do
looking
we
at
use
it.
spellcraft on it?
You absolutely can. You don't know what it is.
Sorry.
You're good.
How do you usually identify potions?
You can use identify, and generally, I will let you identify, like in potions, I will let you identify one per level of the caster, per casting, since they're not like a full-blown magic item.
I see. So if you're level 5, you can identify 5 potions with one casting.
Correct. Yeah, Gold, we've been having some connectivity issues with a couple of guys, and 2 of the other guys are out at
You guys
a
want me to cast-
Irish festival or
cast it?
something. You have one more left. Yeah. If you want to do it for all of them.
Yeah, do it.
Sure, I'm level 7.
Alright, so that was your first one. Do it again, because you didn't get that one. We're going to go to the next one.
I'll buy a pearl.
Alright, so that one was a potion of animal control. Next. Exact same roll, potion of climbing. Next. This is a blue one. This is a potion of flying. The next. We don't know what that one is. Next. Oh, you rolled a 1. It is a filter of persuasiveness. And next. This is your last one, by the way. And you don't know what that one is. So you have, I think, 3 potions that you're not sure what they are? 1, 2, 3, yeah. 3 potions you don't know because you couldn't identify them. And then there was one other that you didn't have enough to identify. So if you guys want to
I'll buy another pearl.
That'll make it 8, and so he can do it on the 4 that you have remaining. So if you want to give me the rolls, go for it. That one didn't work. I'm gonna have to keep track of this. Next. That one didn't. You rolled a 99, man. Next. Yeah, you need 70 or below. Wow, you rolled a 93. Next. And you can stop rolling these in the tower because I'm just gonna tell you because you're rolling so bad. There we go. So the one that you couldn't identify earlier that I said was pink is a potion of healing. You've got. You got one more, or you have more, but go ahead and roll the next one. Oh, dude, look at that, 99 again.
Another 99.
All right, so that's your 5th one. You got 2 more shots. Oh, 6. There we go. That one is a potion of invulnerability. And your last one. It still will be 1 shy. One more roll, Mike. There you go. That one is a potion of polymorph self. And you have one last potion that you don't know what it is. Yeah, no kidding. I mean, 299s. Holy smokes! Definitely would love that for percentile strength. So all those items are in the party sheet, in the inventory. If you guys want to put them on your character sheets. You guys can determine that later if you want to hand them off to somebody else. I tell you what, let's take a break, come back on the hour. That'll give the rest, the 2 guys that are late, hopefully they'll be back by then.
Okay, got it.
Alrighty, we are back on. I think. Yes, we're good.
Are potions pretty much all like 1 use only unless they say otherwise?
You are correct. One use for almost everything. Alright, so I want to cover a couple of things now that we have Finial is here, or Grimlock is here. They identified a bunch of the items. One of them was a Rod of Smiting, which had a head of a jackal, and Borgin picked that up. They also identified a charred
You said
wand.
it was a what? You cut out. I heard it had something on the top of it, but what did you actually say it was?
A Rod of Smiting.
Okay,
Clarified.
Okay, got it.
They identified a wand that was a wand of fire, which Balthazar picked up. They also identified a ring of feather falling, which is still in there. Yep. They identified the round sort of hockey puck looking thing, and it is called Darren's Instant Fortress. And what it does is it makes a 20-foot cube tower that is 30 foot tall with 10 feet of the walls go into the ground, so it's 10 feet down too. And that one I think Balthazar picked up. And then several potions which are also in the party sheet. There's 2 that I don't think they identified, maybe just 1. And a scroll which has wizard spells on it.
What was in the box?
Potions.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Oh.
Somebody should grab that potion of healing. One of the fighters, probably. And then somebody needs to grab that ring of featherfall. And the rest of the potions we should probably put back in a bag of holding for safer than rattling around in my backpack where they might get fireball.
Was the box they were in, was that purpose built to hold potions, or were they just kind of rattling around it?
Oh, it was built. I mean, it was like one of those old wooden Coke bottle things with a lid on it. You know how they had like they're all squared off and the potions were in each little square.
I can take one of the potions of healing.
Take it.
Yeah, Grimlock has a potion of healing in his inventory already, so if you don't have one.
Pretty light on everything over here.
We got that ring of featherfall. Anybody want that?
I prefer to stay underground, so it shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, that's how
What is-
Borgin feels as well.
What does that even do? It just allows you to fall off things without taking damage?
Correct. If you fall, you start floating down.
If you fall too slow, you start floating up. I'm not about that.
I mean, does that have any... Is there any issues with using that with a ring of free action? Do they, like, cancel each other out or anything, or are they completely...
It depends on what you are, how many rings you have on, what hand you put it on, that kind of stuff. How many rings do you have?
I only have one ring.
Okay, so
One
you should
ring
be all right
for
if
them
you put it on the opposite hand. And that was something else you missed. It basically, if you can only have one ring per hand, if you have more than one ring on a hand, they won't work.
Take it if you want it, Grimlock. I've already, the ring of earth already does that, so it's of no use to me.
Okay. Do I need to do a roll for that? Well,
When you fall, yeah.
no.
No.
You don't roll like when you equip it?
No. That's it doesn't trigger unless you fall.
Go jump off a roof.
Oh, that's fine. Okay. It's gonna suck when it doesn't work.
Yeah. Hopefully I won't remember. Alrighty, so you guys have several potions. Charles, or Grimlock, while you're in town, you guys have about 3 weeks to do things while you're there. If you have something you would like to do while you're in town, you are welcome to try to do that.
I'm definitely.
Linnea also imparted some information on to you guys that, in fact, one of you guys should probably tell him what she told you.
I don't remember what it was. Something about the princes were using the ring to get power from the plains. And that's all I remember. You can't use all 4 of them normally? I forget what she said. I was going to go tell Booker, though.
You did.
Amund was trying to do other things when this happened. He's not interested in rings.
Was there something about a prisoner or something?
Yeah, the
That-
paladin.
Yeah, that's something that Charles should be familiar with. The only reason you guys aren't really familiar with that is because you came in halfway through the game. He has been here since the beginning, so unless he's just got old man syndrome and can't remember. But that
Which
wasn't
prisoner
me.
are we talking about? The one we're trying to rescue or whatever?
There you go. You remember?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
The one you're trying to find out if he's still around.
Yeah.
Rommel.
okay.
Yeah. They were asking why they were doing all this. So, in short, she said that there was either a person that was able to use all 4 rings at once on one hand, or there was an object shaped like a hand where all 4 were on, and then somebody could use that object to basically shut down the nodes and remove that power source from the temple and basically, neuter them. At least that's what she thinks. So make of that what you will.
So we find the hand and put the rings on the hand and shut down the temple, essentially. Maybe.
Or the person that put them on. She doesn't know which one it is. All she sees is the hand.
Okay.
I think that was...
Tower.
Go for it.
It doesn't. I read the description. It doesn't really explain, at least in the part I was skimming, if you can equip this with stuff and fold it up and then reopen it. The stuff still. So can we like outfit it like a keep or something and then fold it back up, or destroy everything?
Anything that's inside of it's going to be smashed. Including people when you close it.
Okay. It did say when it opens up, it'll smash things in its way.
That too, yeah.
So this is probably a good time to figure out what we're taking off of Brother Bjorn.
Good point. You're correct.
Since we're not going to be dealing with this character anymore, so I can, whatever items you want me to take off of him, I can throw in party inventory so that our other cleric can take.
So Bajarni's going to go retire for now at the temple in town, the Temple of St. Cuthbert. He has felt the draw to go there, so he can help you when you come back to town, as he would, as if he was, with you guys. He's happy to help. But and he's a 7th level cleric now. But outside of that, you are welcome to take. I'm not going to say everything. I need to look at his character sheet. He's going to need his armor. Yeah, he's going to need his armor. The bag of holding was the party thing, so you can take that. But his normal equipment, his armor, his shield, his weapon, that sort of stuff. The cap itself is definitely coming off. And I'll do that right now while I'm thinking about it.
So you're gonna take care of taking stuff out of his inventory. You don't want me to do it?
No. I just wanted to make sure you weren't just gonna strip him buck naked, because he needs his armor, his holy symbol, his weapon, his shield, that kind of stuff. The rest.
If you go look at his inventory, there is a ton of stuff in there. I mean, because he had the storage stuff. I mean, it's a
right. I said the bag of holding you could take.
Okay.
And I'm assuming everything in there is not specific to him.
Everything in there is what?
Not specific to him. I mean, the like sling stones. I mean, he's got some things like that. Sling stones, water skins, torch, that kind of stuff would be his.
Yeah, there's stuff in his belt pouch. He's got multiple potions and Keegam's ointment, and he's got magic scrolls, like multiple magic scrolls.
Yeah, the scrolls are you guys, not his. I just want to make sure he keeps his normal equipment, and I say that with quotes. His armor, his shield, his weapon, his holy symbols.
Okay.
Backpack, food, water, that kind of stuff. Outside of that, I mean, the rod is definitely the party's. He actually has 2 rods, and
Didn't we just get a rod of smiting? And then
you did, and he has
another
one.
Rod of smiting?
Yeah, I'm gonna move that right now. I don't know why he has 2. That may be what he used as a weapon, I think, actually.
Well, he has a magic morning star on him.
Yeah, but the Rod of Smiting is +3.
Jolliman will have to take that cap.
Yeah, you will. And if
But
you
you're
haven't
going to take
already.
a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, because Borgin can't use the Rod of Resurrection either.
That's right.
All right, I'm gonna grab the cap and the rod of resurrection.
Yeah, you can do the rest of that stuff, Charles. I mean, the coins, the gems, all that other nonsense, the scrolls.
And yeah, still going. Holy water vials. No, I'm not going to bother with those. There's a spear +2 in here. I don't know if anybody would want to use that.
So yeah, one of the guys that normally plays with us, who plays Bajarni, he's kind of his work schedule has shifted, so he's not able to play with us as much, which kind of sucks. He was a cleric of Pelor, so he healed really
He's got
well.
a scroll in the bag of holding, Wilson, that just says scroll. I don't see anything in the description or whatever. Is that a magic scroll or is that just a piece of paper?
Throw it in the party sheet, and I'll look at it once you guys are done.
Okay, throwing it there.
But he's a cleric Pelor, and so his heals are pretty potent. I mean, if anybody knows anything about specialty priests of Pelor, their heals are like median. They heal at least the medium value of a heal, so pretty useful. Plus, he was using the cap of Luna, which allowed him to double his amount of heals. So on top of the median thing, he also healed double.
He's got magic leather gauntlets too. I don't know what those are.
The cap is moving to our other cleric that's down in the party that plays all the time. It'll double his heals, but his are not me. So if he rolls a 1, he'll now heal for 2 instead of. Whereas if it was Bajarni, it would be a minimum of 4, and so it would double it to 8. I think I got that from the Greyhawk Adventures book, if I'm not mistaken. It may not be called the Cap of the Luna, but
He's got a magic circular disc as well.
delete that. That's the other thing. Yeah, delete that. That's the tower thing.
It's gone.
Gotcha.
Is this the kind of village where we could sell some of this other stuff, like this gold ruby ring or the silver jewelry?
Absolutely.
We typically keep that stuff like it is and use it when we need.
It's lighter than gold.
Yeah.
I see.
Brian normally holds all that crap. I think his rogue has a bunch of it. He's normally when we need money for stuff, he finances.
So, like, if you want to buy a healing potion or something, you'll, instead of paying gold for it, you'll give them a gold ring or something.
Yes.
So yeah, you guys have a pair of gauntlets that are magic that need to be identified.
So there's a bone scroll case in his inventory. I'm assuming that's empty, correct? Because it says it's non-magic. Okay, got it.
It's just
Not worried
valuable
about
because it's made of bone.
Let's trade something out of all these gems or whatever for a pearl for the identify.
Yeah, some pearls.
Yeah, I am still there. He's got lots of gems and bracelets and all that stuff. I recommend one of you guys take them all this valuable stuff. You know, it'd be nice to have 2 different people that had a stash of stuff that we could use to pay for things when we needed to.
Not it. I mean, rings could be worn, I guess. Same with amulets. I don't know about medallions. Some of this stuff that's not worth too much, we should definitely just trade away for some extra pearls or something like that. Now, well, we can. A bunch of these are worth like 10, 20, 50. And then we can save the really, really high dollar stuff for if we ever need it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You bling yourself out. Have a nice silver bracelet. Knuckles full of rings. Or a necklace and some amulets and some medallions. Be,
Straight up Liberace, man.
yeah, man. I was thinking more of a wrapper with all the gold, but you get the idea.
Who has the fire ring? Because the gold amulet with ruby depicts a symbol of fire.
Who does have the 4 rings? I got one.
What's the water ring?
I think Jareth has the fire ring.
The fire.
Yeah.
Jolliman has the earth.
Yeah, I got earth. Who's got air?
Parafel or Malachus? And I'm not surprised Bill is not here tonight, actually. Think about it.
All right, just as long as we don't lose track of those, because I think we're gonna.
Oh, you won't. You won't. I'll definitely keep track of those.
So Wilson, you put this rod of smiting. Do you want him to use that as a weapon, and then me throw
Yes.
the Morning Star up in the?
The rod is definitely his weapon now.
Okay, the rod is his weapon, so I can throw the Morning Star into the party inventory, correct?
Yes. Now Parafel has the air ring.
Okay, so I'm just left with the bag of holding, which is in there. And you can take a look at his inventory now. Wilson, are you happy with this? Because I'm about to close it down.
Did you take the bag of holding out? No, you did.
I did.
You're good. Yeah,
I
yeah.
did,
Yeah,
but I took
you're
a
fine.
backpack. He had a backpack in there, and then I put everything else in the backpack.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you didn't have to do that, but yeah, you're good.
Okay, and you want me to leave his gold and everything alone? Leave that on him?
Yes, please.
Okay, that's it. I'm done.
Alrighty, so you guys need to sort that stuff out. Before you say, I mean, what I need you to do is I need you guys to decide who's going to keep what of all of that stuff. Put it on your person, and once you guys have decided what you want to sell, anything that's left in the parcel list, we'll get rid of it. But for now, I need you guys to determine what you're going to do with the stuff that's in there. No, there will
I can
not. Next
carry
week
it.
it'll be
I mean, most of
strictly
it'll fit in the
them
bag,
leveling
right?
up.
So
All of it.
It's kind of irritating to have to go through all this, but they haven't been back in town
we
for
need one
a
person.
long
I
time.
need somebody to sign up for being.
Also, the fact we're
carry the
losing
gems and
Bjarni,
stuff
it's
like
kind of
that.
screwed
Like I
everything
said,
up.
Ryan is typically our guy that does that, but it would be nice to have a second guy that kind of has a repository of valuables.
Well,
yeah, I could
let's-
do that.
Let's trade in the 8 banded agate and the 2 blue quartz. That's 100, and then the 6. What are those? Chrysoprase? Cryoprase. That's 300. So get rid of those. Together, that's 400. We could get 4 pearls, and then we could identify the gloves and what else? A potion or a scroll or whatever else we might need to identify.
I'm all for that, but let's go ahead and get the rest of this stuff out first. Because all that stuff that's identified in there, go ahead and you guys decide who's going to get it and move it. And then we can go from there. Like I said, I'm happy to to get rid of all that stuff. But what we need to do is make sure anything that you guys want to keep is out before I hit the button to sell that stuff.
Yeah. I took the Keegum's ointment.
I'm gonna take the ivory and carnelian brace.
Frankie, you didn't have a magic weapon, did you?
No.
Well, it might
But-
be a good idea for you to take that that Morning Star out of that.
Yeah, there's a
Alright.
spear +2.
Yeah, well, either one of those. I would think the Morning Star is really good. In my experience, it's really good, especially when your primary weapon is a slashing weapon. To kind of
Indeed, they don't get
Yep.
they don't get to
Kinda
pick anything if they're not here.
There's a lot of
It's kinda like at
creatures
work.
that are immune to
If you're not at the
slashing, or
meeting, you
creatures,
get assigned all the projects.
reduced from slashing. I would just recommend that you also pick up a shield as well in town and kind of have that for when you have that equipped.
Yeah, I have a shield. I'm good.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Do you want me to just grab this bag and all this other miscellaneous magic stuff?
Yeah, yeah. If you volunteering to do it, grab the bag of
I'm on
holding
it.
and then grab all the gems, and you don't need the bone scroll case. Can just stay there, and that'll just get sold. I don't think anybody needs that. Now the magic scrolls, he had a lot of scrolls, so
I took a couple. I took the scroll of protection from devils and protection from undead.
Yeah, but he had a couple of like cleric scrolls as well that have like detect poison, aerial servant, tree, and wyvern watch. That's one of them. It's called scroll 1 in there, and then there's another one that's got well, that one doesn't have anything, I don't think.
The potions were
Well-
gonna go back in the box, and then the box was gonna go in the bag of holding. That was the plan.
Let me just get all this crap out of here so that we can do the sell, and then we can redistribute it.
So is Amun going to be the guy with the bag of holding now?
I'm the guy.
All right.
So are you taking all those potions?
Yeah, I'm gonna grab them all for now, and then when you guys need them, just.
Okay.
All right. So there was none of these amulets and stuff. We're gonna sell all those. Or...
Typically we kind of keep them in jewelry form until we actually need to use them. Until we actually need money for something. So if you guys are stocking up on pearls or whatever, and you want to use some, then we can do that. But then take the rest of them and put them in the bag of holding.
The gold ruby ring is worth a lot, as is the gold amulet with ruby.
I took the fire opal.
Alrighty, so the things that are left, those are the things that you want to sell?
Yeah, so we can buy pearls.
Alright, so who's going to be the person that's doing the, who's going to try to sell the stuff?
That will not be me.
It should not be me either.
Let me look at my skills and see what we got.
It's a
James
James!
is here. Holy
Yeah, I got it.
crap!
I got appraising, so maybe I should do that.
Somebody use that potion of persuasion before they sell it.
Oh yeah, we could do that.
Well, this stuff's really not worth that much overall.
But keep in mind, you guys have a good relationship with the jeweler in town. In fact, hold on a second. I know what I'm doing. Oops.
Isn't he the one that made my hand?
He is. He's also, that's Longnose's uncle, the gnome guy that you guys
yeah.
pulled out of the temple a long time ago. So you guys have a good relationship, and he gives you good deals, typically. Mechanically, that is he buys at 90% of the value of the thing. That's the best you're going to get from anybody because he still has to make money. So that's the best. More than likely, you're going to get somewhere unless you do some kind of wizardry on the side or something. So if you guys just want to take it to him and sell it, and if you send Jareth, he's familiar with Jareth too. So
Go, Jared.
All right, I'll do it.
alrighty. So whenever whenever you sell all your items, the total amount that you have is in the party sheet. If you're going to use, if you want to get some of that back in pearls, you've got enough to get 3 pearls and have 72 gold left.
Do it. Because we still got those gloves to identify.
Okay, I'll trade in for pearls.
And you took all those scrolls out, Jolliman? One of those that I put in there so Wilson could tell me if there was actually anything on, because it looked blank to me. So you might want to throw that one back in the party inventory and let Wilson chuck it if it doesn't have anything on there. Yeah, that's the one.
Alright, so you have 3 pearls in there.
Balthazar, you want to identify those leather gauntlets that we got? Where'd those
Sure.
go?
So if you guys have things that you want to identify, go ahead and throw them back in the party partial items list, like the scroll that's there.
And there was still 1 potion too, I think.
Did y'all fully identify those gauntlets, the strength gauntlets or whatever?
Somebody had those, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Moon hasn't.
Yeah, I got those.
But did we actually identify them?
I mean, just spellcraft those. They're most likely gauntlets of ogre.
Yeah, I think we all know what they are, but I think they still need to be formally identified. Because when we do the whatever the magic check on it, that's not considered a full identification. It still needs to actually be identified afterwards.
I just threw a spellcraft in the tower. Did that pass?
What is the spellcraft for?
Identify the gauntlets of ogre power.
You've already done, or somebody's already used spellcraft to determine what they think they are, and that's what they used. So that won't help anymore. I mean, if you want to use a spell to identify, you certainly can, but you also have the leather gauntlets that somebody picked up somewhere that aren't in the party sheet right now, that have been not identified at all. Yep, that. So is that what you want to identify?
Yes, please.
Those are gauntlets of dexterity. And the scroll does not require a spell to identify. It is something that somebody just needed to sit down and look at. If somebody wants to give me, let's see, who was it? Jolliman, give me a skill. You got spellcraft or religion? Do you have either one of those?
I have religion.
Give me that check in the tower, please. You get three. Wow, you rolled a 20, man. You don't know what that is. That's for the scroll.
Borgin has religion as well.
Yeah, he would. One of the things that I'm going to kind of step back from is in the past, if somebody's failed, everybody that has it starts rolling the thing till somebody gets it. I'm not a big fan of that. So what I'm going to say is that all of you guys together collectively don't know what it is. I mean, you can certainly spend, somebody could do read magic on it, or somebody can do, that kind of stuff to figure out what it is, or pay somebody else. But it kind of basically just makes it well, we've got 5 guys, we can throw dice till somebody gets it, and it seems kind of cheapens the whole process, I think.
Sure, that makes sense.
But if somebody wants to get it identified, you can, or you can do something else to try to identify it, but not a religion check.
I am the best roller.
Let's take it to Brother Bjarni now. He's retired.
Maybe he knows. Or the jeweler, yeah.
Now Barton can do it. His last thing he'll do for free for you guys.
What? Man.
It is a scroll of protection from elementals, which is not specific to a class, but it's for Earth.
That could be handy later.
As long as I have this Ring of Earth, I don't need it. Because they won't attack me.
You hope. Alrighty, so you have gauntlets, and you have 2 more pearls left. One of them was used, which I think is the one that Belshazzar took, to identify the gauntlets of dexterity. So those are useful. I mean, they've got +1 dex. I think. Let's see. Does it say there's a cap on it?
No, if your dex is really low, it raises it higher. But if it's 14 or higher, it just raises it by 1 point.
Okay. So yeah, more than likely, it would be +1. So.
But it gives base
It'll
fourth level thief, pickpocket, open locks, or if a thief wears them, they get a +10 bonus to both open locks and pickpocket.
Yeah, they're pretty nice, actually.
Jareth, you might want to look at those.
Yeah, I'm interested. If our friend Garton is not.
He's not. So it sounds like you get him.
Not, man.
Okay.
Snag him.
I'll drop him on my character.
So, after you guys have identified, spent a lot of time. Most of you guys have trained. You've got about a week left. One evening, 4 of you. Carafel is not here. Solomon. Jareth. And Balthazar. All of you guys on the same evening. Each of you, we'll go with Balthazar. Balthazar, you have a dream that you're drowning
Okay.
in blue water. You can kind of see, light above you. It's just you're suddenly. I mean, just the dream just starts out sploosh. You're in the water and you're drowning. I need you to give me a save versus spells in the tower. Okay, thank you. When you wake up, your entire room is covered in water, and it smells like salt water. Our next person, Gareth. You have a dream. You're walking through town. Looking for some easy mark to pick their pocket, and you turn a corner and go into alley, and immediately just engulfed. The whole thing's engulfed in flames. There's no way to get out. Make me a save versus spells in the tower, please.
Save versus spells coming up.
Awesome. Okay, so when you wake up, your bed is on fire. You've rolled out of the bed, so you didn't get hurt, but your bed is aflame. What are you gonna do? I mean, it's not like roaring huge flame, but it's like all your blankets and stuff on the edges are just now catching fire.
Okay, I'm gonna try and put the fire out.
Okay, you can do that. Not hard, especially with your ability to control elements and a little bit more with the ring. So you're able to put it all out, and it stops. And our other person's paraphernalia is not here. Solomon, you're walking down the street, going to go pay your respects at the Temple of St. Cuthbert. And the ground opens up and swallows you. You are surrounded by rock and dirt. You can't breathe. You can feel it crushing you. Give me a save versus spells in the tower. Alrighty. Second. All right, gentlemen. So when you wake up, you are coughing, just hacking and coughing, and you're coughing up pebbles and dirt. You've taken some damage. It's not physical. You can't see it, but your lungs hurt, your chest hurts. So I've put some damage on your character sheet. You took 5 damage, but when you wake up, you're covered in dirt and pebbles are all in your bed.
You rock, man.
I pebble.
Yeah. So that's what happens.
Slept like a rock.
Ouch.
All right. So did anybody else have anything they wanted to do in town?
Yes.
What's that?
I want to go visit with the enchanter that helped me put the enchantment on my axe to see if he could recommend a repair method to repair my.
You want somebody to try to repair your axe?
Yes. And so I wanted to go see the guy that did the enchantment on it in the first place to see what he thought was necessary, because the way you described it to me is that it wouldn't just be something where you'd be able, where it was an assembly issue, it also needed to have magic spells cast on it or something.
Yeah. You'd need since the haft was broken, and you go to the place. This is the same place that they sold the teeth and the horns to. Kijum is the guy that you're going to be talking with. The person that does these, the work is not here at the moment, but he can certainly talk to you about it. And what he says will have to be done is they will have to first enchant the haft, which requires some high level caster wizard to enchant the haft to replace the one that was broke. They will also need the assistance of a blacksmith. Well, you won't necessarily need to take it to him. They'll, pay for him to come whenever they're doing the process. But it's also something that will take several days for this to be taken care of, and you will need to find a source of wood that is sufficient to hold the enchantment for the axe. Because they don't have that.
Spear +2 or whatever, right?
Yeah, the spear. Yeah, this spear is not going to be thick enough to be a handle for a 2-handed axe.
What about the Morning Star?
Too short. It's also partially metal.
Okay, well I can't
But-
help with that. So
If you can find a piece of wood that it will hold the enchantment, they will. They're happy to perform it for the cost of what it will take. You know, all the materials that they're going to have to provide, which in this case is going to be somewhere around 5,000 gold. That's assuming you provide all the other stuff. As they said, they don't have wood that would be sufficient to work for this.
well, what's an example of something that would have enough wood?
It's not so much how much wood, it's the type of wood. You need something like ironwood or an oak tree that's been struck by lightning, that sort of thing.
Okay, and there's no place I can go to get that kind of thing, right? That's just something we're gonna have to stumble across.
If you're talking to Keachum, he doesn't know where you would find it. I mean, it would take some, somebody would have to research, where to find that, or talk to somebody that's more familiar with that type of terrain that may be able to help you. But he doesn't know.
Okay, well I can I'll get all the details about the wood and I'll go talk to the druid in town and see if he's able to steer us to a place that might have something like
Jaroon, you want to talk to Jaroon? Actually,
his name.
Yeah, that's his name. Something you missed early on is you guys, when you came back, you guys had been gone for like 4 months to them. So whatever happened in the nodes, the time passing there passed differently than the prime material plane. So it's like a 4-month difference. So when you guys came back, they thought you guys were dead. They didn't know you were still alive. And so they had sent some spies into the temple to try to find out what happened to you guys that haven't returned yet. And one of those spies was a companion of Jaroon that he sent in. But I said all that just so you would know, because I don't think the other guys told you. Jaroon, he doesn't know of any immediate, some nearby sources of an oak tree that's been struck by lightning. He's not aware of one. It's something, again, that would need somebody to either have seen it, report it, talk about it, or be able to, something to find it on their own. He says ironwood is much more rare. It only grows in the oldest parts of the forest. And that's not something that he just tells you that it's something that grows deep in the forest, and you wouldn't be welcome there.
Would you?
If I went there, I'm always
Yeah.
welcome in the woods.
Well, what would it take for us to get you to, I guess, go on a quest to find this type of stuff?
He says that I'll do it for you. You have to do a favor for me.
Anything, I think.
Think?
I'm not going back to those elemental planes. Because even though we were gone for 4 months, it feels like we were gone for a year.
So, he says, I've not heard back from Killa. I need you to find out if she's okay. And bring word back to me.
And where's the last place you heard of her being.
She was sent to the temple to find out what happened to you guys
How long ago?
about 2 months ago.
She's in there. We'll find her. We freed several prisoners that we ran across. As a matter of fact, we just freed Linnea from the elemental plane. So we will definitely go back. If you have any information that might help us figure out what part of the temple she's in, we'll take it and we'll, target our search accordingly. Otherwise, we will be back in the temple, and if we find her, regardless of whether you help us with this weapon, we would make sure she gets back safely. We've done that in every case so far.
So he nods. He says, "Okay, it'll take me some time, and while you are doing your search, I will do a search for you." And so his plan is to go off into he is going to go and
grateful.
he is going to go deep into the gnarly forest. See if he can find a limb of ironwood. He tells you that it's not something that you can cut from the tree. The tree has to give it up itself. So, he's not going to guarantee that he's going to be able to get what you need, but he's going to go look for it. But he says that Kella was instructed that to go deep within the temple to find out what she could. She is able to shape change into creatures. She has a special ability to, in fact, transform into things that normally druids can't. And, he explains that normally druids shape change into animals. She is able to transform into things like bugbears and even in some case a large ogre or a giant. So it may be difficult to find her.
Bugbears? Uh-oh.
Certainly run into our share of bugbears, trolls, and giants. I don't know that we've ran into any that we haven't dispatched. I suspected they were all evil, and they certainly treated us that way. But should we run into any more, I'll at least attempt to parlay, just in case.
What's her name again?
Kella.
Kella. Okay.
Alrighty. So if that is it for talking to Jerome.
Yeah, that's it. Again, I'm very grateful. Very much appreciate his. That axe has saved us from many a horrible situation, or the axe I'm trying to repair has saved us from many a horrible situation in that temple. And I suspect we would not be alive without it. So, the quicker we can get that back working, the better. But in the meantime, we'll continue with the resources we have. I won't let that axe get in the way of our, helping out the town and finding the people that have been taken.
So we're gonna get ready and go back to the temple then?
Yeah, everybody needs to stock up on supplies if you haven't already. Rations, water skins, get all that
I already
stuff.
did. I think I already did that.
Yeah, I need to restock on rations.
Mike, I I'm still 6th level. I think we've trained since we've come back to town.
Yes, you have. Well,
I can-
the rest of them did, yes.
So if I don't know how to change the level. I don't know if I can.
Don't change the level. You need to drag and drop the class on you. I have already exported your character, so if it screws up, you're good. But something that Frankie suggested, if you go to your character sheet and bring up the thief, click the little gear and bring up that little black mark next to the thief, the little shield looking button. If you click that, it'll bring up your class, and if you drag and drop that thing from that window that pops up, the little one at the top left there, drag and drop it in the class window. That'll be exactly what you need, because you want to make sure not to put a different type of class in there, because it'll kind of screw everything up.
Okay, so from the page 1 of the character sheet.
Yep. There's a little gear next to Thief 6. Click that.
Yep, and that brings up class and level for Jareth Silverhand.
Yeah. And then there's a little black dot to the right of your XP needed. Click that.
Yeah.
All right. So when that window comes up, when that window comes up, you can just drag and drop that dot that's on that window at the top left, anywhere in your character sheet or back on that class and level window. And that should put you at 7.
So it did.
There you go. The chat text should tell you what all you got, your hit points, if your saves changed, tackle changed, or you got skills, that kind of stuff.
Gained 1 hit point. Thaco's better. 1 class level. Did not say anything about percentages or anything like that.
Yeah, now it won't do your thief skills. That's something you have to do on your own. So you get 30 points every time you level, and you can't put more than 15 on one. So you can do that however you want. And you probably already have been doing that, I hope.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, okay, you're good. All right. So I think with that, what we can do is I want to call this here, unless you guys have anything else. Next time we get together, you guys can head back to the temple to explore, to try to find where Kella went, maybe find where Thrommel went, depending on where you guys go. So, unless anybody has any questions, we'll call it there for the evening.
Yeah, I know one place I want to go. I want to go get my armor back.
Where's your armor?
So we passed by a room when we came back up the temple, and this was probably before you were in the party, but we came across a room. When we went in there, it was it was undescript. The floor was like smooth stone, and the whole place was almost like marble, just smooth room. It was just covered in smooth stone. And the only feature in the room was a mirror on the wall. And when we approached the mirror, there were 2 figures that started talking to us from within the mirror, and they said that they were surprised to see forces of good there, forces of good in the temple, but they said since we were there, they would help us, and they would enchant. If we gave them some of our equipment, they would enchant it for us and put magical enchantments on it or whatever. But in order to do so, we had to leave the items in the room and leave the room so that the enchantments could be imparted on the items. They said if we stayed in the room, we would be killed.
Did they steal your armor?
It wasn't just my armor. They stole a lot of stuff. Brian in particular put a bunch of his shit in there. like magic stuff.
Were they
Yeah.
were they Nigerian by any chance?
We don't know what they were. All we know is that we came back in that room after all this had taken place and our items were gone, and
So is this like
they
insertion?
came back to the mirror, and when they saw it was us, they wouldn't communicate with us anymore. So we basically got swindled, and we looked all around that area, and there was obviously real estate behind that wall because we looked all around it, and it looked that was just a portion of the map that was just empty back there, but we couldn't find a way in. We looked for secret doors everywhere. We couldn't find a way in. But now
We got
we have
passwall
that
now.
ring that will get us in there. And that's why when we were coming back up and we were passing by that room, I was like, mental note, coming back here to get my stuff back.
That's fun.
So, yeah, when we go back down there, I would definitely like to take a detour by that and figure out what's going on behind that wall, because I suspect there's some people up to no good.
How did you guys get in the first time? Because did you guys go through the front door? Did you find a secret entrance? Because I seem to recall like a secret tunnel or something from the moat place or something. How did you guys get in last? How did we get out? Did we go out the front door?
Yeah, well, we went out. We did not go out the front door. The front door is the one that was originally barred with like magic locks or whatever, and you had to save versus spells anytime you looked at it, kind of thing. But there were two side doors, and we usually go in and out of those side doors. We avoided that main door, but I think that main door has been blown open now, if I remember correctly. So we could go through that door if we wanted to, but we always go through the side door.
And we're looking for like the hand, right? And something with the 4 rings, or a person that can wear the 4 rings. And a missing paladin and some other missing person.
Yeah, Kella.
Yeah, Kella. Yeah. So we've got some more searching to do. We searched through a good bit of that second level down below, and even the level below that, we've searched through most of that, I think, too. But the thing is, it's like been months, many months since we searched a lot of that stuff. So, the temple changes over time. So sometimes we run into areas where we've already cleared it out, and there's new people in town, kind of thing.
Right, yeah. We just need to stay out of the nodes, I think.
Yeah.
Stay out of the...
I suspect that won't be an issue anymore.